All right, welcome back to another video, y'all. This is Segovia coming to you live from the man cave. Hope everyone out there had a good weekend, having a good Monday, y'all. Hey, 2024, am I right? We got a couple more days left, y'all, and there's still things happening on the daily. We got some things in this video that's gonna make you question everything. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I can't show you how much of this behind me, but why in the world has 3 planes gone down in the last 24 hours? That gives me really strong Donnie Darko vibes. The latest one was in Canada. You remember a few months ago when I talked about not getting on planes? You know, I'm sure it seemed pretty random at the time, but what about now? Like this right here is absolutely crazy. And at the same time, we're having a huge plane problem for planes that did not go down. And some that did, but you know, they have a lot in common if you're good at using your eyes. Because just recently, Boeing was in the headlines for a while. And this right here is completely not related at all. I just thought it was crazy how we have dual sheets of clouds and they both look ridiculous. We even have an article from Fox Weather saying Florida becomes the unsunshine state and during its cloudiest winter period in 84 years. And that was last year. And this year, the fog and everything else is absolutely insane. This right here has been our viewing conditions in South Carolina for the last 4 days, ever since Christmas. And then randomly in the middle of the night, I should have recorded it, we had an ungodly storm. And when I tell you guys, I've never seen a storm that bad here. The whole entire house was shaking. There was like some crazy strong vibration with this storm. And we haven't seen nothing yet. This massive polar vortex is coming. I wouldn't be surprised if the entire sky froze, if you know what I mean.
That Bible sales have increased 22% through October of this year compared to the same period last year. I don't know if you know this, Bible sales have been going down for maybe about 100 years. First 10 months of the year, Americans purchased 13.7 million Bibles. Print book sales increased less than 1%. People are actually going out and buying paper Bibles. Why is that happening? Nothing makes sense. You're like, what?
People are looking for foundational truths.
They're looking for foundational truths. The world is changing so rapidly and nothing makes sense. This is really good news. That's the first sign of an awakening, where people get so disillusioned with things, they realize their lives, the country, war, science, everything is out of control. There are no experts to listen to, that you're like, okay, maybe I should start listening to myself, and is there something bigger than me that makes sense? This is an extraordinarily good sign.
Every team owner.
It's been changing fast, so rapidly. We got a 2024 recap coming up in tomorrow's video, y'all. Post things that have been happening all year. I got a lot of things on my list, but I might miss some things. So let me know down in the comments what you guys want to see on tomorrow's reaction. It's going to be epic, y'all. So leave some comments what happened this year.
Gambles on football teams?
Well, I'm saying that no fewer than 26
That's
NFL team owners have documented ties. Past and present NFL team owners have documented business ties to either the gambling community and or the organized crime syndicate. I'm also saying that no fewer than 70 NFL games have been fixed.
now that's pretty rough stuff. You're saying no fewer than 70 NFL games have been fixed. You mean the outcome, the point spread, what?
I'm saying the points were shaved and thereby fixed. Yeah.
How does this happen?
Well, I first got into this about 1983. Vincent Persani, who is the head of the Michigan State Attorney General's Office Organized Crime Division, told me, if you're going to do a book about the NFL, Dan, you're going to have to get into this guy, Don Dawson, because he was fixing games. We knew it. I went to my friends and my sources at the Internal Revenue Service, the Organized Crime Intelligence Division. They said Don Dawson was fixing games. I went to the FBI, the Organized Crime and Racketeering Section of the Justice Department, and Strike Force field offices. Everybody told me what Don Dawson was fixing games. At that point, I had enough evidence to print that allegedly Don Dawson was fixing NFL games. He was a major bookmaker in the Midwest. I then went to Dawson. I tracked him down. I jumped through all kinds of hoops to interview him. And when I interviewed him on about the 7th or 8th interview, he admitted to me that he had personally participated in the fixing of no fewer than 32 NFL games.
How does that happen?
He liked to work with the quarterback. He would go to the quarterback would come to him and say, I need some bread. What's the line on the game this week? And the
Pope is open.
You think it got worse now that betting's legal everywhere? Damn near. Not legal in Texas where I'm at, but 90% of the country is legal. You think there ain't no betting going on now? Inside betting? Pelosi's doing it.
5 portals. These are the locations of them. Connecting the dots of these locations creates the sigil of Lucifer. This is going to blow your mind. Sigil of Lucifer is your brain's visual field with the eyes. You don't see into reality. Light enters the eyes and an image is produced in your brain. Everything outside of you is just energy. Your brain turns it into a reality you can interact with. These rituals are all to do with perception. That's why he's opening 5 doors for your 5 senses. 5 points on the body, 5 toes, 5 fingers. 5 is the portal that connects spirit with matter, consciousness interacting with the material world. The Pope is not opening spiritual portals for demons. This was all a psyop. The portal they're opening is a negative portal in your own mind. This ritual was to create fear in our minds to make us project it into the reality. Because the physical world is just an externalization of our inner consciousness. By planting fear in the collective minds and projecting this reality to keep us distracted. This is what Lucifer is. Lucifer is you, your consciousness, your divine self, falling for the material tricks. Matrix. This is just another distraction to install fear into your mind.
Man, Noah was not playing around. He was not playing around. Crazy.
You know what Hollywood keeps telling me? Shh. Don't say anything. You know what the American church keeps telling me? Shh. Don't say anything. You know what I have to say to Angel Studios and the new TV show Homestead? God's wrath is upon you.
So guys, we have another entire police department resignation that just happened a few days ago, y'all. Oh my goodness, what is going on? So this guy right here is the South Carolina mayor. This guy was being chased by police. He was being investigated for, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things going on in politics right now. But he hit a semi head on, right? And he lost his life, unfortunately. This was just days after the whole police department, including the police chief, resigned, y'all. What is going on?
The automobile was driven by a gentleman named George Garner from McCall, South Carolina. I understand he's the mayor of McCall.
First and new at 11, a breaking news update. Authorities confirmed to News 13 the mayor of McCall died in a wreck in Darlington County. Thank you for joining us at 11. I'm Edward Moody.
And Trish Williford SLED also confirmed to News 13 tonight it has an open investigation that involves the late mayor, but the agency would not release any other information.
Back to the wreck, the Darlington County Sheriff's Office tells us Garner was being pursued by Marlboro County Sheriff's deputies when it happened. We're working to learn what led to that chase. Troopers say the wreck happened around 2:40 this afternoon on Cashwa Ferry Road, just past Charleston Road. That's about 9 miles east of the city of Darlington. News 13's Eric Cooper was at the scene of the wreck and tells us what we know so far.
Darlington County Sheriff James Hudson did confirm that there was a 2-vehicle crash, and Coroner Todd Hardy did update us with new details. Here you see some video we received from the scene. Hardy tells us a Marlboro County resident was being pursued by a Marlboro County deputy. That person was driving a Chevy Tahoe on Cashwa Ferry Road in Darlington County when deputies said the Tahoe veered out of the lane and slammed head-on into a tractor-trailer. The driver of the Tahoe died. Cashwa Ferry Road was...
Bro, that's the whole mayor. The whole police department, including the chief, quits. The mayor just got unalive, and they're not discussing anything. All the dirt is coming out, y'all. Age of Aquarius. I hope y'all see the shift, man. I hope y'all see. But let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, comment, and share for more videos like this. Let's get it. Peace in.
Was moving too slowly, but the fall of Ramadi has galvanized the Iraqi government. So with the additional steps I ordered last month, we're speeding up training of ISIL forces, including volunteers from Sunni tribes in Anbar province. Last month, we're speeding up training of ISIL forces, including volunteers from Sunni tribes in Anbar province.
Demons are no longer just hiding, they're parading. I'll give you some examples. There were numerous top grossing films this year that had demons in them. Wicked, Beetlejuice, Venom, Ghostbusters, A Quiet Place, Alien Romulus, Longlegs, and Smile 2. What we're seeing as well, not only are women becoming more liberal, they're becoming witches. And all of that is demonism. In the church, there is oftentimes a reticence because of the Bible education in Bible colleges and seminaries to sort of avoid the supernatural, the demonic themes in the Bible. Yet we're seeing in the culture, demons are very popular. And those who are having demonic encounters, that is part of the process by which God is revealing to them, like Tucker Carlson, there really is an unseen and supernatural realm. There really is a God and a Satan. There really are angels and demons. There really is spiritual warfare. And yes, you are a part of it. I'm not saying that we should emphasize demons. We should tell people spiritual truth. We should give them the backdrop of the Bible and their life and world history, and that is the cosmic conflict between good and evil, the war that started in heaven and has found its way onto our planet. We should make sure that we're telling people that the Holy Spirit is more powerful than the unholy spirits.
Men that are throughout the movie, that are constantly in the background of the film, who eventually, in the final shots of the film, you see like Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman in that final scene in the toy store, and they never take their eyes off their daughter until the moment they take their eyes off and the final line of the movie is coming up. You see those two guys walking off with the daughter. They're taking her away. They've given their daughter to the pedo cult. The two.
I have still yet to see Eyes Wide Shut. I need to watch it. But did you guys see that thing in the news? I couldn't even put it on my channel. That couple, the two males that were doing what they were doing to, you know, some Eyes Wide Shut type things, y'all. Crazy.
Burger King's moldy Whopper campaign. Burger King let a Whopper sit out for 30 days and filmed it with a time lapse to show it getting moldy to demonstrate that they don't use artificial preservatives unlike their competitors. This campaign ended up getting 8.4 billion impressions and boosted sales. That is crazy.
Of course we're in a simulation. If we were just monkeys and now we are using qubits, using superpositioning to create some infinitely faster way of calculating data, then obviously once we get that thing connected to our brain, we will be able to simulate any reality we want. If this is truly our past and you wanted to, like right now, the way I remember something, having done acid for most of my life, is very foggy and kind of like, my memory isn't the best. Every once in a while I have a very clear memory of things, but with this tech, theoretically, it could reconstruct memories in your mind, and not just that, put you into them and allow you to experiencing them in real time. Meaning in a few minutes, you could live your life over 1,000 times. Easily, we could be in the future, and this is a memory that some quantum computer neural interface is allowing us to experience totally. All-encompassing memory, and that would be a form of eternal life, because in every second, how many lifetimes could you live based on merging with that kind of chip?
Right.
And you wouldn't want to know it was a memory. You know, you might want to be like, you know what, let me just live that life over again. I just want to feel the whole thing.
People always ask about the mud.
It's not eternal though, right? Eternal is eternal. That's not eternal.
Roads. You know, why do you see mud roads all the time in here? Well, let me show you why I see mud roads. Because when you see that electric trolleys are already here, well, that doesn't fit the narrative. When you have buildings like this and people riding around in electric trolleys, you got to kind of cover up the roads so that they don't see that the technology already exists. So then you can ride them around on a horse and buggy and say that they now are going around on the trolley, and you can kind of give them the old trick. It's all bait and switch is what it is. And it's funny too, because here's like a little sign they would throw up on the building. Look at how makeshift this is. So they'd throw up a little sign on a building and be like, this is who owns it. You go into Seattle, and what's that on those old world buildings? That's what those are right there. You see that? So old world buildings have that symbol. Well, got to destroy all that. Don't want people to start looking into that topic as well, which is energy, vortex. spirals, all of that. And this was at the Portland World Fair. Temporary World Fair, they say. Yeah, temporarily because they destroyed it all. Here's all the people who turned out. All the people who turned out. But no money was made. Remember, all these people go to this event, but no money is actually made.
Can someone explain to me why in Manchester we've had nothing but fog for 4 days now? 4 days in a row. Normally, just behind these buildings, I can see for miles out of my window, but I haven't been able to see past these buildings here, barely seeing this main road since the 23rd of December. It's now the 27th. And I know what fog is, and I've seen fog before, but I don't think ever in my life I have seen fog like this, like a blanket covering for 4 days in a row. And it's not even like it's disappeared and then come back. It's literally just been like this constantly since the 23rd of December. Is it just me, or is that not normal? I mean, if it wasn't for the lights there and the headlights, I probably wouldn't be able to see that road at all. Earlier on today, genuinely couldn't see a thing. I literally feel like I live in a Stephen King film. But yeah, it's pretty weird. Has anyone else ever seen this before? Has anyone else ever seen 4 days, even longer, of fog continuously? Get it in the comments. But yeah, I've never seen this before. What is going on?
A ghost lake in California, Lake Tulare, once the largest freshwater lake in the U.S., west of the Mississippi, is coming back to life. Tulare Lake in the 1800s at its peak was 4 times the size of Lake Tahoe before it was drained for agriculture and growing cities nearby. And now California's record-smashing winter has brought this lake back to life, which could grow to the size of Lake Tahoe by late spring, as the largest Southern Sierra snowpack in recorded history rapidly melts. Several communities built in the dry lake bed have been forced to evacuate as the lake expands and now begins to slowly drown homes and businesses.
Newly released photos of then Vice President Biden and Hunter Biden meeting Chinese President Xi Jinping and his son's Chinese business partners during a 2013 trip to Beijing. The photos proving Biden lied about never discussing business with his son.
I did not know he was on the board of that company. I've never discussed my business or their business, my sons or daughters. I never discussed a single thing with my son about anything having to do with Ukraine. I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. I have never discussed with my son or my brother or anyone else anything having to do with their businesses, period.
This subliminal imagery is so sick, I don't even know where to start, y'all. So we have this giant in like some artificial womb. Obviously it's not a baby, right? So who is this thing? And did you see how creepy that face was? What if I told you that this same exact being was shown a few months prior at a weekend concert? I knew this Las Vegas sphere was gonna be doing all sorts of voodoo in here. But back to this. What are they letting out? Letting out the shell. Look at that face. This is not a human, at least not fully human. Before I show you the crazy stuff, why does this being have some kind of light or fire behind it whilst trying to break out of this artificial womb? Almost like an artificial prison. It's clear that this being is in some kind of fiery place, some kind of bottomless pit. Really, the subliminal imagery in this is like second level. I promise this is about to blow your mind because what I'm just showing you now is the same exact being in this concert. So who is this being that they're all paying homage to and trying to release from some shady place? Well, to find out, we only need to look into the robe that The Weeknd's wearing at this concert. He's a high priest of the sun. So at this concert, they were opening a portal, a spiritual dimension, to the Abyssos for Apollo, Abaddon, the Lightbringer, Lucifer, etc. Look at the old world religious buildings in the center, by the way. Like what was happening 300 years ago. Most will never know. People think that the wicked amongst us who are up in high places are some kind of low intelligence individuals, but it's quite literally the opposite. They are the highest IQ individuals on this earth. Like almost nobody, maybe 1% will actually understand what's going on right here. Like in the same way they use music and resonance and vibration to affect the minds of all the people in the stage to make them conjure the magic and the spells and the releasing for them. People pay them to help them release their magic on them. And this being that the high priest of the sun was trying to let out and open portals to is quite literally the same being imaged right here. And to think people would pay to go see this. Y'all can feel it, don't you? The time is getting very, very, very close. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Oh, by the way, I rebuke this in the name of Jesus and do not listen to the audio that is in this concert.
Hey people, Saturday, December 28th. Welcome to the Dior Bag Retail Center headquarters operations. Take a look at this. This slows it down in the next 28 seconds. You'll see this is a Dior bag specialty in France. I love those guys. They're so stylish. Look at this. This really slows it down to just, you can see everything in this exotic Dior bag. Enjoy. Happy New Year's to everybody. Be safe and enjoy the Dior bags.
Okay, this is a clip from the movie Signs. I feel like when you blur the actual video out, you get past the copyright strike. So you guys are going to have to listen. This is from the movie Signs when he goes to the recruitment center, what the army recruiter or whatever branch of military he is says.
I've got it figured. You do? I've had two separate folks tell me there have been strangers around these parts last couple nights. Can't tell what they look like, because they're staying in the shadows, covert-like. Nobody's been hurt, mind you, and that's the giveaway.
I see.
It's called probing. It's a military procedure. You send out a reconnaissance group, very small, check things out. Not to engage, but to evaluate the situation. Evaluate the level of danger. Make sure things are all clear.
Clear for what?
For the rest of them.
Did you know that you could?
We hear the rumblings that there's going to be a lot more coming, where it's just going to be a regular thing in the sky in 2025. So they're prepping us for all that. Are they doing reconnaissance, checking out the scene? I mean, they tell us in the movies, right? Told us right there. Check out P. Diddy. I don't know if this is legit. This is really P. Diddy having a blast in prison, but check him out.
Kill somebody?
Yes, but I want
no way.
What the hell is going on out there?
Ain't no way. No, he has too much power. He has to be stopped. He has to be stopped. He got him back in jail. What is going on? What?
It looks like him.
Did you hear about the testimony by Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet just recently in Congress?
Is this the one where the thing's moving underwater
Yes.
500 knots?
Yes, he's reporting.
Explain it to people what he said.
I don't have all that. You
Just
can
what
look
you
it
can
up.
remember.
Yeah, what I can remember basically is confirming that we have objects that are exhibiting a technology underwater that defies any conventional explanation. Things that are just virtually impossible, like so much faster than the fastest submarine or anything like that. And they're really big.
Yeah, it's moving as if there's no resistance underwater.
Yeah, and then
so
they can-
moving like a fighter jet would in the air. It's moving like that underwater.
Yeah, they call it transmedium or something. They can do
Yes.
that. But confirmation. I mean, and I actually spoke to Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet on a couple of occasions recently, and I thanked him for coming forward and testifying. And he said, I felt an obligation to do so.
This is really bad. Holy shit.
Somebody underneath the water truck.
The port that's on fire is the Delta port. It is responsible for exporting 20 million tons of coal every single year. See, the Liberals promised 3 years ago that by year 2030, so just 5 years, there'd be no more coal exports coming from this port. And Stephen Guilbeault promised he would phase out the coal exports later on this year. Well, I didn't expect this. Is this just a coincidence, or is there
Nope.
something else happening here? We need a full investigation. Would love to hear from you in the comments section.
This is really bad. Holy shit.
Somebody underneath the water truck. The fire truck.
Some
That's
of
crazy.
the visuals shown at the sphere were dark. You guys have to see this. So if you're not aware already, there was the first DJ performance.
See, this is why I say in a lot of clips that are starting to pop up, they're putting it out there now, y'all. They're not in hiding no more. They're not just putting checkered floors or hand signals over their eyes or throwing up things. They're doing that still, but they're really out there now with it. They're out there. It's go time, y'all. It is go time.
It's hosted at the Las Vegas Sphere, and it was done by
That's why Bible sales are up. What that guy say, 20% or whatever he said. This is why.
Anima. And just take a look at this one. There's this robot, and then he ends up turning into this demon with wings, and he sets the whole place on fire. And then as time goes by, he starts to move like he's possessed. And you have to realize this whole place is a screen, so it feels like it's 4D. And then the whole place turns into eyeballs, and they all move together with the music, and you can zoom into it and you can see the details of the eyeballs, and it's all over the place surrounding you. I don't know, maybe I'm getting old, but to me, that's just creepy. And then you have this one, you've probably seen this online already. It's where the siren is hiding in the forest, and then they shine the light on it, and it wakes up and then starts dancing. And then Enima himself posted this one with the caption saying, "Slave in uterus." So I don't know what exactly this is supposed to be. Some of the visuals were very cool, I'll give them that, but a lot of them definitely had some symbolism.
Well, the Vatican, if you remember that for at least 2,300 years, Rome, starting with the Caesars of Rome, the Augustus Caesar, the first emperor, but for 2,300 years, Europe has been dominated by Rome. And then for in the last 1,600 years has been under the Catholic Church. The Holy Father is the Pontifex Maximus, which was a term given to the Caesars. Pontifex Maximus means the greatest bridge builder. And so again, Rome has dominated Europe for 2,300 years, under the Roman Empire and then under the Vatican. And for 2,300 years, Europe has dominated the planet. So therefore, all roads lead to Rome. And so that's why, again, when we were talking about the Jewish thing, the Jews are not doing anything near whatever is going on out there. Don't worry about the Jews. You better look at the Vatican. For 2,300 years, Rome has ruled Europe, and Europe has dominated the world. There's where the power is. The Holy Father, nothing holy in Rome. He represents God. That's why all of the royalty will tell you that they have a divine right. We mean divine right. That implies God put you there. No, divine right comes from the idea that the Pope anointed you. The Pope said you could be prince, so now you have a divine right. Why? Because he represents God. You say, what God? Because that Pope's tiara he wears is a fish head. The Roman Catholic Church is worshiping an old god named Dagon, D-A-G-O-N, Dagon. Dagon is the god of the Roman Catholic Church. But happily, most people have no idea who Dagon was. I have no idea what I'm talking about. So everything is fine until you wake up one day and start doing your homework and find out that the Roman god Dagon is the god of the Roman Catholic Church today.
Seriously, can anyone explain to me why the Pope has this symbol on his robes that is identical to a giant geoglyph of a humanoid-looking figure in the northern desert of Chile? Like, seriously, what is going on here? It's pretty common knowledge that the global elites know a lot more than they let us normies in on, but this is literally like waving it in front of our face. Like, what is this? Before anybody starts commenting saying this picture is fake or it's probably been altered or AI, no. This was posted 6 years ago in an article by The Guardian. Now, I had to scribble out a little bit of the title, but Catholic Church, children, I'm sure you can understand the context of this article. So unless The Guardian are posting pictures of the Pope with aliens on his robes for absolutely no reason and no relevance to their story, then I feel pretty comfortable in saying that this is a real image. So what kind of significance does it have to this? The Atacama Giant. This is one of the biggest geoglyphs in the world depicting a humanoid figure. It's believed to have been created between 1,000 and 1,400 years ago by ancient Incan cultures. It's over 100 meters tall, and it's on the Pope's robes. Why? Like, seriously. Like, let's move away from aliens and UFOs for a second, and just, can anybody actually tell me, why does the Pope have this on his robes? It is aliens.
Right? So, when you look at the Vatican, they have a lot of fucking Luciferian shit. Look at the resurrection. Look at the sculpture of the resurrection. Pull that up, the sculpture, and you tell me if that's Jesus. Look up this isn't the Vatican Cathedral.
Okay.
The sculpture of the resurrection.
Eddie, have you ever
it does not look like Jesus.
Have you ever been to the Vatican?
Stop using wireless. By the way, this is the answer. Yeah, we have to go back to wire. Well, listen, I measured the difference with this. This measures EMF radiation very accurately, and I measured the difference between this, wired, versus unwired, and the unwired was 1,000 times over the level of what we would consider, the scientific literature would consider unsafe. Listen, I convinced my kids to go without those and go back to wired. If I can convince them, you can convince them, or let me convince your kids. Show them this video, because that'll be more convincing than you. Believe me, kids don't want to listen to us, do they? But they'll listen to somebody else. We've got to get kids away from these. We all have to get away from these things.
Hey, get out of there.
What's really going on at the Vatican this week? Because if you're like me, you've seen some wild conspiracies with this event going on right now. They're currently opening these holy doors, and some people saying portals. And given the Vatican's history, you know, like the audience hall being shaped like a serpent, and just the history in general of this place, the event taking place right now is very significant. So the Pope is opening 5 holy doors, each on different days, and some reputable sources are actually calling them portals just because of the spiritual significance that they carry. The thing is, this only happens every 25 years, marking what's called the Year of Jubilee. But this year is different. For the first time in history, a 5th door is being opened, and this is what really is causing the pot to stir. So these are the names and dates of each door that is being opened, and the one that's never been opened before is the second one, the prison in Rome. And by the time I'm making this video, it already happened. But the holy doors represent a spiritual passage and commitment to follow Jesus, and they're going to remain open throughout the year. Pilgrims from around the world will visit Rome to pass through these doors as a symbol of renewal and grace. This ritual in general just gives some people an eerie feeling, and there's a lot of conspiracies going around. Some people think these doors are more than just doors, maybe gateways, but I'm curious to know what you guys think about this.
Things that were considered completely normal in the past, sending children through the mail. In the early 20th century, it was legal and not uncommon to send children through the postal service. Parents would pay postage based on the child's weight. Garden hermits. Wealthy landowners in the 18th century sometimes hired people to live as hermits in their gardens. These hermits were expected to live in seclusion and not cut their hair or nails. Arranged marriages. Arranged marriages were the norm in many cultures and were often seen as a way to strengthen family ties and social status. Mourning jewelry. It was common to wear jewelry made from the hair of deceased loved ones as a way to remember them.
He's not gonna be president, that I can tell you. And I'm safe, you know why? He can't be. He wasn't born in this country. Nah, he's a great guy, and we want to have
Nah, he's just roasting his ass.
him. Everybody, so many people are in this audience that have helped.
Orbs in the new Superman movie. You look at how these UFOs move. I always tell people, let's demystify this. Go look at what, the Pentagon has confirmed that those, and I say, look at that thing move. I mean, it's moving, straight up, straight down, has no rockets, no jets, doesn't have an atomic power plant on board, no heat signature. And it's an electromagnetic field propulsion, but every one of those, this is the big story no one knows. Those weren't extraterrestrial, those are ours. How ET civilizations manifest in our space-time. Remember, extraterrestrial civilizations have the ability to phase from a very non-3D energy field all the way into full manifestation. So you can have, for example, an entire spacecraft 3D. That spacecraft, many people have observed this, we've had this happen on our expeditions, can then fold into space-time, and all you see is a sphere.
Everyone keeps asking me if I'm pregnant. Actually, a Republican came to me on the floor this week and asked me if I was pregnant. I'm not pregnant, guys. I had a lot of food at Thanksgiving, okay? It happens.
You know what's crazy? If she did say she was pregnant, she would lose a lot of her supporters because in their eyes, that's a no-no. That's how far left she is and her supporters are. If you're pregnant, I ain't gonna support you.
Well, when PBS...
Okay, this is from the dude from Reading Rainbow. I've tried posting this before, and it got not even a copyright. It got blocked. I couldn't put it out, so I'm gonna try to put this out. If you guys see it, we got past it with the blurriness. But this is the guy from Reading Rainbow telling why the show got canceled. And shouts out to everyone that remembers Reading Rainbow, y'all.
I took Reading Rainbow off the air in 2009.
Great show, by the way.
Of No Child Left Behind. That's a story that a lot of folks don't get. Yeah. Okay. So No Child Left Behind is doing exactly that. And so the mandate is to teach kids how to read, the rudiments of reading. And there was no money in the budget to encourage, to foster a love of reading. And so Reading Rainbow got...
So it seemed more like a luxury than education?
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Well, that's, you know, look, we have spent so much money on the machinery of war in the last 10, 12 years. We are having to make really ridiculous choices. And
they all knew that for years.
They didn't work
That's
so far.
the plan. They could never
It's a
make it
shitty plan,
work.
though.
They didn't have the technology 500 years ago. The Vatican knew about it. They wanted it. And you go to the Vatican, you see paintings of like UFOs with aliens in them. And back when I used to believe in UFOs, before I figured out that they want us to believe in UFOs, they're preparing us for a fake alien invasion. That's always been the plan. A one world government. The only way to do it is to get us to embrace it. And the only way to embrace it is from an alien attack. Ronald Reagan talked about it many times at the UN, CFR. He looked at all the leaders of the world and said, wouldn't it make our lives easier if we just had some kind of extraterrestrial threat? He's in front of the nation doing a State of the Union address, saying what lies before us is the opportunity to forge a new world order.
Now, there was a time when I thought, it's not going to work. It's not going to scare us, right? I mean, is it scaring us now, seeing these things in the sky? No. But when the time comes, they're going to be offing some of us to make us scared, to make us believe, to make us want that one world government, to make us... I was just watching the movie Armageddon on TV the other day, and the whole world came together and supported, you know, Bruce Willis and his crew up there. That's what it's going to do. It's going to make us all come together because they're going to not just show up in the sky right now. They're doing what the movie said in Signs. They're coming for reconnaissance because they're all going to come. Even if it's government made, they start offing some people in the neighborhood, some houses, some buildings, some stadiums. Oh, we'll all get in line. We'll all get in line.
On with this fog. There's been so many people in different cities, different states, and different countries talking about this fog that's appearing over cities that is weird and it smells different. And it's not natural either for the time of year or the way it looks is a little bit odd. And I've seen videos from the UK, from Canada, from so many states in America right now that is talking about this fog. And the reason this is important is because different things keep happening, right? Because the Dior bags apparently don't exist and they're covering it up. And some of them were leaving certain trails that people believe to be unnatural and harmful to us. And now that there's this fog, and people have been reporting going through this fog and feeling kind of weird and having it smell a little man-made, and it's really odd. And if you know anything about this or if you heard about this, definitely comment and tag any links to other people's videos about this, because this is definitely a really interesting thing, because it seems like these Dior bags are getting harder and harder to see, and maybe it's because of this mystery fog.
We got a lot of rappers here. That's right. Jay-Z, Jigga, the Jigga Man. Jigga what? Jigga who? Jigga in the club, that's who. And how could you mention rap without talking about my man P. Diddy? P.
P. Diddy, Sean John, Sean Puppet Cone. Got in a little bit of trouble this year, huh, Pup? Got in some trouble. Went out and hired Johnny Cochran. Actually, you didn't hire Johnny Cochran, you just sampled OJ's defense team.
Holy shit. It's all starting to make sense. I posted this over a year ago, this video. And to be fair, to be fully honest, I didn't really understand. I had a feeling, but I didn't understand.
No one can seem to agree on anything anymore except for two things. Pizza and us. And us.
And I remember as well, when Ellen gave out all of those pizzas.
Hey, I like this guy's content because he's touching some touchy subjects. You know, I get nervous posting some of his stuff, but he's going hard in the paint with this content, y'all. This is a touchy subject on any platform.
At the awards, and then took that internet breaking photograph.
So they were always trying to call for pizzas, and you can't order a pizza to the White House. I'll just tell you that right now. And we didn't. Sometimes there were exceptions.
And I see Prince lean over to his assistant. And then all of a sudden the assistant leans over to me and says, I don't know why I do this voice, but it's actually, Prince wants you to come back and have pasta and pizza.
So they're all massive pizza lovers, chicken lovers, pasta lovers. They love their food. And if at this point you're unsure about what this video is about, pop into the comments and I'm sure one of my friends or followers will gladly fill you in. Oh, and if you're not following me yet, you flipping should be. Come onto my page and click my notification bell and press all so you don't miss none of my future uploads.
So a guy filmed an animatronic malfunction at Disney and the employees were freaking out. But why? Check this out.
Down now, please, folks. You are not allowed to film the show during an animatronic malfunction.
Well, that's right, folks. Not serious. Time for other things.
Charles Lindbergh, he's about to fly a single-wing airplane. Again, for the man in the black jacket, please stop recording. Again, I want to thank most of you folks for following directions and sitting tight during this issue. We're going to have some lightning lane vouchers available for your patients. However, for the man in the black jacket, can you please find a cast member after the performance? Thank you.
I'm kind of surprised it sounds like that.
We've had in years. We've come a long way, though, since the turn of the century, over 20-some-odd years ago. You know that pilot fella, Charles Lindbergh? He's about to fly a single-wing airplane.
Do you think there's any subliminal messages? You tell me what you think. Make sure you comment below and click subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Y'all don't believe we live in a matrix? Y'all don't believe we live in a simulation? Check this out. How do you explain this over here, y'all? Wait till she looks up. How do you explain this over here? Where is this water coming from? Where is this water coming from? The whole sky is blue and clear. There's no clouds in the sky except for over there. This right here is in Dubai, y'all. It's not a waterfall. It's no rain. What is going on here? This is clearly a glitch in the system. That's why she was like, oh my God.
That's crazy. Pretty
where
dope.
is that coming from? That's crazy. This literally, the crazy thing is, it looks like she's directly under the waterfall, but she's not getting wet at all. Y'all see that? It looks like it's falling on her, but she's not getting wet at all. That's crazy. What's going on? Look at the water though. It looks like a mist. It literally looks like a mist in the sky. Y'all see that? Wow. I mean, since the world is a stage, there would be parts of the stage that you would see the imperfections, right? It's kind of like when we were young, we're at recitals and everything, you would see someone messing up that was pretending to be a tree or a cloud or something like that. This is exactly how this matrix is, because there's too many instances. So what do you guys think about that video? Let me know down in the comments below. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. Let's continue to get this shift. Peace out.
If you go with the Sphinx being a lion originally, for sure its head was recarved at some point.
Yeah.
But if it was a lion, then it would have been pointing at when the sun rose on the solstice, directly at, it would have been in the age of like the House of Leo 10,500 years ago. So right around the Younger Dryas period. So it would have been lined up with the Leo, the lion, as a constellation.
It would have been built 10,500 years ago?
Yeah, so it would have been at the right constellation. But remember, that's the dating that Shock's given it due to erosion analysis and everything, but that also happens to line up with the constellation of Leo, the precession of the equinoxes. we would have been in the age of Leo when that happened.
Old enough to remember it, but life before first contact was extremely difficult. Nearly every human had to waste most of their lives working. And without our technology, you could only produce basic commodities by slowly destroying your own habitat. Now maybe we should have intervened earlier, but our scouting fleet had been watching you since the year you call 1953. And if we'd learned anything about your species, it's that you weren't always so quick to embrace outsiders. But when we finally landed our ships and introduced ourselves 5 years ago today, well, sure, a few of you thought we were funny looking, and some of your governments did their best to keep us out. But your most forward-thinking business leaders saw the opportunities we brought for wealth creation and industrial efficiency. And humankind finally joined the rest of the universe in a new era of prosperity. That's it for today's lesson. Once again, my name is... and I look forward to getting to know all of you better. You may now remove your notes.
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag?
Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping for shit.
You heard what he just said, right?
Fab, how was your birthday, man? And what was your wish for this year?
I like vibes. You know what I mean? I like a good vibe more than like wanting for anything. Like, you know what I mean?
Certain things they let it go by because it's fun. Like he would say stuff, and it's like he wasn't like in the closet; he was like in the hallway. Now you see so much shit that you go away.
Miss Leo, for real, because I'm saying it seems like a thing.
I miss
this
partying
birthday
with
party,
Puff, man.
But I'm talking about for your birthday.
When Fab, he was like, "Yo, Fab, we ain't party." Fab was like, "No, we partying tonight."
I want you to party with me for your birthday, man.
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party. You know what I'm saying?
No, like, but they just party. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, they let that one go. Like, I had to say something about it later because I was like, oh, it was.
What does it feel like all these years? You being the only one calling this out?
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long
they
time.
Say you're a hater. They
you're
say
a hater. You're do this. Yeah, and now everybody's complaining. My ass is hurting.
Yeah, I've never really been in the fog to know, but I don't think fog's supposed to look like that, y'all. Looks like ashes, like a fire nearby. A good flashlight. I need a good flashlight. Leave a comment down below if you guys know of a good flashlight. I know we got some outdoorsmen and outdoors women out there. Leave me a comment.
Mr. Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Please get the fuck out of DC.
Have a wonderful day, man.
Yeah, you suck.
He's like, Mr. Prime Minister. He's like, oh, no one's called me that in a couple years. Thank you. How you doing? You suck. Get out of here. That one was funny, y'all. He's got to go, though. All my Canadians out there, how do you guys feel about this dude? Let me know.
One last
It ain't
clue from
good.
the Biden administration. Now
Probably how we feel about this freaking guy.
they're trying to use the drone situation to pass a bill to access wireless surveillance to our phones. So they're trying to pass a bill because drones are a concern, yet the presidential office is saying not to worry about the drones. So which is it? So as a US citizen, you can't fly a drone in US airspace, but they can to access our information? They already have an overstep of power with the Homeland Security Act. We have restrictions like in New Jersey, you can't fly a drone in a national park, but they can do whatever they want. They can infringe on our privacy whenever they want. It's time to stand up, and it's time to stand up now. Is anyone else just ready for January 20th to be here? I think it's time for Trump because
we definitely didn't land on it.
You don't think we landed on the moon?
Definitely didn't land on the moon, for sure.
What makes you feel that way?
Because we haven't gone back. Why would we have gone then, but we haven't gone back now? We don't have the technology to go now, but we have the technology to do all the things we're doing. It doesn't make any sense. Think for yourself. Realize that what was going on at that time frame was a race to the moon for really geopolitical power. That's really what that was. And it was essentially won, but it never happened. And when you really look into it, you start to see that a lot of things are not adding up with the Apollo missions, with supposed astronauts that died on exploding missions that are still alive, and you see them like still teaching in schools and things like that with their same name.
Really?
Yeah.
So that one mission that exploded that they made a movie about, you're talking about?
Yeah.
Those guys survived?
Yeah. Some of those people. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even see that. That's crazy, dude.
Look into it.
Wow.
U.S. Army openly says that yes, we've known about aliens. Check this out.
Look, we are launching the drones up in the sky as of right now in New Jersey and stuff, in Texas, everywhere. We are launching the drones up in the sky as of right now in New Jersey and stuff, in Texas. Like, y'all don't gotta be afraid. Them are man-made drones. And we're doing the launching or whatever. Now, what you do have to be concerned of, my bad, my eye, but is the orbs that's inside the sky that y'all see that's glowing and stuff, that's shooting down the drones and all that. That's not a part of us. Them are actually real life aliens. Like, aliens do exist. They're above and they're below us. Yes, they do exist. In 2025, there will be a lot more of exposing the truth. I can't say the reason why, but because it's already out here, so I can speak on this. Aliens are real, and we will have to evacuate sooner than later. But just be careful. Keep looking up in the sky at night. They only come at night. They will only come at night. I don't know the reason. I just know it's been investigated. Aliens are real. And we're trying to figure out why they're here visiting us right now. It's a lot going on within the United States. It's a lot of everything, but they're real. Be careful. Watch out.
Now, as far as his credibility and who he is, I don't know if he's actually a soldier in the U.S. Army. I mean, he's got the uniform, but one thing I will say is that his mannerism, he genuinely seems distraught. Does he not? I mean,
No, he looks like he needs to straighten up and sit down and talk to the damn camera. Looks tired. Doesn't look distraught at all.
What if I told you all three of their names are made up names to suit the narrative, and I can prove it through the mocking and the truth in plain sight? Well, let's start with the very first one to supposedly step foot on the moon, which essentially makes him an alien. Highly unlikely his name happens to be Alien backwards, A-L-I-E-N. Now let's take Edwin Aldrin,
Son of a bitch.
who has said multiple times on camera that they never went to the moon. I digress. I don't think it's a coincidence his last name, Aldrin, sounds suspiciously close to the fictional planet in Star Wars, Alderaan, or how in another big Hollywood movie, the fictional character's name is Buzz, which was Edwin Alderaan's nickname. Moving on to Mr. Charles.
Who was a fake astronaut, a toy, and thought he was real in the movie.
Charles Conrad, and if you follow me, this one's gonna hit for you. Another double C name. Not only that, but they gave him the nickname Pete. And since then, as tradition, astronauts have often been called Pete. You know I love that etymology. See where it comes from. To scheme, plot. That's your meaning of Pete. There you have it. There's your three most famous astronauts. It's truth in plain sight with the spelling even. The word "not" with the spelling N-A-U-T is always in association with sailors, ships, the sea.
Found astronaut. I like how he broke that down.
Creepy carving in the rock.
what's really happening in Asheville, North Carolina, 39 days after Hurricane Helene ripped through. This is happening right here. This is a piece of somebody's siding from their house. It's holding up this power line across Swananoa River Road. This is the Swananoa River right here that's all flooded and the wreckage. Think everything's fine in Asheville still? Think again.
You don't see the government. The FEMA was over there warming their campers.
I know, we saw
They
them
got
over there.
showers. They got their satellite. They're good. They got name tag, but they do nothing.
Mm-mm.
They do nothing.
And they closed. I went to the mall yesterday. Went to the FEMA office they have set up at the Asheville Mall. Closed at 5:59.
Yeah.
And I said, what about the people who have to work? They have to come after work. And the guy was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, we go on and on about all
the
that.
government right now is I don't curse, but I'll say it is absolute shit. It is gone, and this right here is what they think of us. Trash.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That it's not just words, you know how back a few weeks ago they were making this big old thing, honey, I'm Puerto Rican, so I didn't take that offensive. When they talk about the trash, and I'm like,
yeah,
it's words, but this is your actions. You're showing us who you really think trash is, your own country, your own people. You take care of other countries better than you do your own people.
And meanwhile, we've got immigrants that just came in the country that are in $200 a night hotel rooms. And our own people are living in campers.
More than that. In New York.
So ChatGPT knows what's going on with these drones and plasmids. He says, the drones you've been seeing are part of a classified initiative. These drones are testing advanced surveillance and reconnaissance technology designed to gather real-time data on environmental changes and track potential security threats. We're using a mix of commercial and military-grade drones to simulate various scenarios, including monitoring coastal areas for cybersecurity vulnerabilities. While we do acknowledge the drone's presence, there's no cause for alarm. They're simply part of a multi-agency exercise, and everything is being fully monitored. He then goes on to say, now as for the more unusual sightings that have been reported, well, we might be testing something a little more interesting. He says, regarding the plasmoids observed over New Jersey, I can tell you this is quite the anomaly, but not entirely out of the realm of classified scientific experiments. While most of the public might be speculating about extraterrestrial involvement or otherworldly phenomena, what we're seeing could be related to a highly advanced experimental military technology that harnesses plasma physics in new and innovative ways. He goes on to say, there are rumors, strictly rumors, within our defense circles about a project aimed at developing plasmoids as a form of controlled energy or propulsion. Imagine, if you will, a small self-contained energy source that could be manipulated in mid-air, sort of like a floating power cell. This could have applications for everything from silent, low-visibility drones to electromagnetic weapons, or EMPs.
Have you guys been hearing about the different type of animals that are being found in the most peculiar places? Here's one over here. This black bear was found in Destin, Florida, swimming in the beach all by itself. No parents, no mom and dad, just by itself. It was a little baby cub. What's going on in Destin, Florida? Here's the most craziest one. Have y'all seen the polar bear that ended up in Texas? What is a polar bear doing in Texas? And do you see how huge this thing is? He was so shaken up he couldn't even get the camera right to videotape it. But a polar bear...
That thing's as big as that SUV in front of it. Can you imagine walking your dog to go check the mail?
In Texas? What is happening here, y'all? What is going on? And do you see how huge that thing is? It towers over the car and it's not even standing. And here's one of the most peculiar ones, y'all. There was a penguin found in Australia coming from Antarctica. That's over 2,000 miles of travel, y'all. How did this penguin make it there by itself? Emperor penguins are one of my favorite animals. They're always sleek and styling, you know, they got a tux on, so they stay fresh. But 2,000 miles to Australia? And what we know about Antarctica now, right? It wasn't always a frozen tundra. Does that mean that penguins at once were a tropical type of animal? If at one point in time there was no snow on this planet, does that mean penguins were once a tropical animal? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this, and let's continue to get this shit.
I didn't know. I went to the zoo out here in the middle of summer, and there's penguins. Now, they weren't emperor penguins, but I didn't know there's different penguins that are in deserts and, you know, hotter areas. Because I was like, ain't these penguins supposed to be like in ice chests pretty much? And they were just out in the warm water, in the warmth, sunbathing.
Peace out.
For some people, for some reason, shoes are a very fascinating subject. Like these, handcrafted men's alligator boots, and these, real snakeskin sneakers. Aren't these shoes interesting? Aren't these shoes fascinating? Even the Pope has his own pair, and it's not just one Pope either. All of the popes have their own pair of red shoes. There's even actors that used to be child stars that wear these shoes. Remember Ronald McDonald and his huge pair of red shoes? Here's a fun fact about Ronald McDonald. Allegedly, he was a carry-on or a copy of Bozo the Clown. And this is Ronald McDonald House. And see all of these young people here? All of these people are part of something called the Red Shoe Society, which Ronald McDonald House are the founders of. Now these boots are the ones I find the most fascinating. Let me get you a closer look. So these boots were worn by Lady Gaga at an awards ceremony. They're called meat boots. Now, I don't know what kind of fashion statement she's trying to make here, but that is not the one for me. And if we're being totally honest at this point, we couldn't have actually made this video without giving little Nas X his own special mention. Although these shoes are black. Go and look at what these shoes are. What's inside of these shoes and the sole. If you don't know, go and Google it. It's so easy. Or have a look in the comments, because I bet you loads of my followers and friends are keen to tell you in the comments. Oh, and if you're not already following me, you flipping should do. Go onto my page as well and click my notification bell and click all so you don't miss none of my future uploads.
Never burn candles in your home. Why not?
The reason being that whenever you inhale something, it has a potential to quickly and easily enter your bloodstream and go directly to your brain. When you light a candle, you're not just liberating fragrance chemicals, but there also is toluene, benzene, and other toxic chemicals that are known to be human carcinogens through the route of inhalation being released into the air. We don't necessarily need candles anymore, but people use them for religious reasons. There's many reasons to use candles, but when you are using a conventional candle with synthetic dyes, petroleum-based wax, and synthetic undisclosed fragrance in particular, you're releasing ultrafine particulate matter, which is the most hazardous type. So we really need to be careful, especially if you have kids. These chemicals are not just staying in the air, they attach to house dust and deposit on the surfaces of your home. So if you have a baby that's crawling around on the floor, putting things in his or her mouth, their airways are close to the ground, ingesting all of these particles, they cannot detoxify the way that adults can. Their bodies are developing, and these early life exposures have lifelong consequences.
But you start seeing the stuff that you're suppressing, but it's your own mind working, so it can start showing you worse stuff. Wow. And they told me, but now the first time I did it, they said it's so hard to describe because you kind of go to a different realm, but they describe the medicine will tell you stuff. And for me, the medicine is like right here. So it stood right here. And they said if it shows you something, but you're not ready to see it, you can say, no, please don't show me that now. I'm not ready. But if it keeps showing it to you, you need to address this. So for me, both times, the first thing I saw was about 10,000 demons. And they're just everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was everything from black and white to red. They all had yellow teeth. Some were black teeth with yellow. And they're kind of staring there. And I don't know why they're there, but you sort of address it somehow in your weird state, and you can push them aside, then you move on. But if you have a creative, like it even has a sense of humor. Like if you have a sense of humor because you're talking to yourself, and I like to think I have a sense of humor, it can kind of joke with you too. Like the whole thing with, you got to realize that one of us is the problem type shit.
Yeah.
What the hell is that over there?
What is it?
I don't know. Over there.
Where?
Oh my fucking God. Hold on. What is that?
Wait a second. Robin, what is that?
What the fuck?
Robin, what are you doing? Oh my fucking God, it's running. Dude!
Let's explain what it is that we're looking at here.
This is the monument to the departure point of the great Portuguese navigators who explored Africa and girdled the world in the 14th century because they had the superior technology of the astrolabe. That was what gave them the edge up.
Cool.
All right, family. There you have today's reaction. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it this far, leave a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Link to my second channel is down below. We're 115 subscribers away from 1,000 subscribers. Make sure you guys go over there, hit that thumbs up. We're getting active over there, y'all. I'm not really haven't decided what I want to do over there. If you guys got some suggestions, you want long form reactions instead of TikToks, do you want TikToks but a different type of TikToks? Let me know down below what you guys want to see. And tomorrow we will be doing the 2024 recap. I got some ideas. I've been researching. I'm going to research a lot more right now. We're going to come out with an hour-long banger of what happened over 2024. I got a couple ideas for the thumbnail. I need one more, so make sure the best one down below will be in the thumbnail. I got Trump, the iconic with the American flag behind him. I'm thinking Cat Williams. That was a big thing that happened this year. I don't know what the third TikTok is going to be up for the thumbnail, so best one in the comments is going to get on the thumbnail, y'all. And like I said, leave me some suggestions of what happened in 2024 from January probably till like October, because November and December is still fresh. So I'm probably going to go from January to October, all the crazy things that have happened. So let me know down below what you guys think, what you guys got some ideas of. I would love to see them. But anyways, y'all, this is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. We're almost done with 2024, y'all. 2025 is going to be epic. Hope everyone out there has a good day today. I'm going to see you guys on tomorrow's reaction. Y'all make sure you guys tune in for that one. Later.